Please stand as you are able. We begin this morning by naming, as a college, that we are humbled to be neighbors of the Meskwaki Nation, recognized as the Sac and Fox tribe of the Mississippi in Iowa, through its purchase of land and establishment in Tama County in 1857, less than 30 miles from Grinnell College. And we acknowledge that we are on the ancestral territory of the Sauk and Iowa peoples, whose land was taken from them through the encroachment of white settlers, and then formally in 1845 through government land concessions. We wish to pay respect to the Meskwaki, Sauk, and Iowa peoples, both past and present. As we begin this ceremony, we give thanks for the privilege of being here on this special morning to celebrate these graduates. We are grateful for the family and friends who gather with us on this high occasion. We acknowledge family members given and chosen, and the many ways their support, love, freedom, patience, commitment has helped many of these graduates on their way to this major milestone. We acknowledge and honor the faculty who shared wisdom, experience, creativity, the thrill of learning, and their gifts in teaching with these students. We give thanks for the staff who continue the education and the scaffolding of support in its many forms for these students outside of the classroom. And finally, we give thanks for these students who took a chance on this institution and remained with us through many obstacles in their 4 years of study. They have helped to make this community and the wider Grinnell community a more diverse, inclusive, and engaging place while they dedicated themselves to their work and to the building and maintaining of friendships on and off campus that will last a lifetime. So we begin this ceremony in a spirit of joy and gratitude. May this day hold important memories for each of us. Amen. Please be seated.
Family and friends, it is my privilege to present our 2023 commencement speaker, Ham Serunjogi, who is an entrepreneur, innovator, trustee, alum. His vision and ambition to create mobile payments across nations has made life easier for millions. His work serves as an inspiration to our graduates. Please welcome Ham Serunjogi.
Thank you. Thank you for the very kind and generous introduction. President Harris, Board of Trustees, to the parents of the class of 2023, you are the true unsung heroes of today. Faculty, staff, and of course to you, class of 2023, congratulations. Today is your day. I also wanted to thank my family who are here with me today. Thank you for being there with me and for me every other day. To my dear friend, Nelson, who dropped everything to be here with us today, thank you. If you see a very well-dressed, tall, light-skinned African-American man with cornrows, that's Nelson. Stop and take a picture with him. You'll be glad you did. I also want to thank my host parents, Doug and Dixie Hansen, for making my time at Grinnell that much more memorable. Thank you all. Of all the blessings and honors I've been fortunate to receive in my life thus far, being your commencement speaker today stands out above all. I am deeply honored to be with you all today for your graduation from one of the finest institutions in the world. And by the way, before I go any further, I must just clarify that at no point in my speech did I use ChatGPT. This is all me, authentically me. So just wanted to get that out of the way. I've spent the last few weeks and months thinking about, what do I want to say today? What will be helpful to such a bright and smart group of people? And I found myself arriving at an interesting place, reflecting on my own life. Steve Jobs once said that the thing about life is that you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. And as I've reflected on my life over the last couple of weeks, I've connected a few dots that, although unknown to me at the time, acted as guiding principles for my life. Today, I'm going to share a few of these with you in the hopes that they can guide you as well as they did me. The trajectory of my life was set a long time before I came into this world. I was born in Uganda on the same day my grandfather was buried. Perhaps this is one of the reasons I was given his name. In many ways, he was the last of a privileged and wealthy lineage. This was a man who in 1960s colonial Uganda was able to gain admission to Oxford University in the United Kingdom, the same country that was colonizing Uganda at the time. During his time at Oxford, he would marry my grandmother, a lady who, like my grandfather, would be one of the last of an even wealthier and more privileged lineage. Together, my grandparents were part of a generation of aristocratic Ugandans who inherited great fortunes and even greater names, but as life would have it, would ultimately pass down very little. At the tail end of these two once great lineages was my father, the last born of 5 boys, a position that didn't wield many natural advantages. In fact, his life would be filled with great adversity. Adversity from the outside world, as a newly independent Uganda experienced its fair share of civil wars and political instability, and adversity at home, constantly bullied and mistreated by his older brothers, the very people whose sole responsibility it was to protect him. The world can be a very unfair place sometimes. Good people lose and bad people win all the time. This is a lesson my father would go on to learn several times over. What are the roles and responsibilities of an individual when society at large exhibits the worst of itself? When society only serves to be a barrier to progress, how much can the micro influence the macro? How can an individual rise and thrive against so much hate and despair, against so much adversity? When it was his turn to be a parent, these are the experiences that shaped how he and my mother would raise my brothers and I, how they would instill values in us that would shape the trajectories of our own lives. 7 years ago, I sat where you all sit today, filled with great excitement about what was next, but also great fear about how it will all play out, and what role I would have, if any, in bending my future to my will. In the years since my graduation, I have constantly fallen back on the lessons I learned from my parents growing up. And having had the chance to reflect deeply on them, I thought I'd share 5 of the most important ones with you today in the hopes that they provide some value to you as you take your next steps. Just 5, no more. First lesson, embrace working hard and work hard all the time. I know that sounds a bit cliche, but in whatever you choose to do, work as hard at it as you can. There's no substitute for hard work. I've seen firsthand the difference this makes. Working hard and seeing my parents, who were self-employed, raising 3 boys, and from learning from my co-founder, Majid, who I work with every day, one of the hardest working people I know. At the various stages of starting and growing our company, Chipper, we've often done our best work when we work the hardest. Working hard will always set you apart. Don't take it for granted. Lesson number 2, do things that matter because they matter, not because success is guaranteed. The world desperately needs Grinnellians to do things that matter, to tackle the hardest problems, not just because success is guaranteed, but because they're important. As a Grinnellian, it is your responsibility to move issues of deep purpose and responsibility beyond conversation into tangible action, to move the abstract into reality, and to do so knowing that even if you fail, The true reward lies in the journey and not the destination. Lesson number 3, perseverance is a superpower. Always keep moving forward. Progress for the sake of progress is not guaranteed. In fact, we've seen time and time again that humanity is quite capable of regressing. Example number 1, we landed on the moon in 1969, before Wi-Fi was invented. But fast forward to today, and we don't have the ability to do that again. How is that possible? Here's another example. 1900 years ago, the Romans, using the technology of their time, built the Colosseum. And they did so in a period of 7 years. But fast forward to today, and they can't do it again. 4,500 years ago, the Egyptians built the pyramids, one of the greatest engineering marvels of our time. But a few thousand years later, they forgot how to. Sometimes the hardest thing about progress isn't achieving it, it's preserving it. This is something I've wrestled with personally. How is it that my own grandfather in 1960 in Uganda could somehow graduate from Oxford University, but fast forward 7 years later, and his direct descendants who live in a safer, more prosperous world are unable to even graduate from high school? That is the opposite of progress. What are the roles and responsibilities of the individual? Do not rest on your laurels. Always keep moving forward and fight fiercely to preserve progress that others gave so much for. There is no excuse for going in the wrong direction. Lesson number 4, sometimes it's okay to do things alone. Sometimes it'll happen so that the path that you take that will take you the farthest is a path that you must travel on your own, and that seems the loneliest. Don't let this deter you. Dare greatly and have faith in your ability to do remarkable things. It is quite likely that the lonely path is the path on which you'll discover the true heights of your talents and the true depths of your courage. As Grinnellians, we're not afraid to forge our own paths. Lean into that. Life will sometimes want to beat you into submission, but fight back. Fight back like hell. And the 5th and final lesson that I want to share with you all today is around kindness and generosity. Of all the things I know for certain in my life, one of them is that I'm only here because countless others have bent backwards for me multiple times. Be generous to others, especially when it feels like you don't have enough for yourself. Be kind to everyone and always make room for others at your table. Above all else, this is what makes us human, to be because others are. I will close off my remarks today by dedicating this incredible honor of being here with you today to a few people who have shaped my life. To my mother, who's been the rock of our family, and to my father, who I admire more than anyone else. Thank you for sacrificing everything for me. To my brothers, Teffer and Noah, I cherish the bonds of our brotherhood. To Majid, who could not be here today, thank you for taking a chance on me and for never giving up on me. To my best friends, Farah, who is watching this from halfway across the world, and Agava, who has grown up with me, and many others out there, I'm lucky to have you all in my life. And to my oldest friend, Joseph, who we lost before we even knew what it meant to lose someone. You live on forever in my heart. And to you, Nahum, as you climb your mountain, never forget that the mark of a great mind is to entertain an idea that you do not agree with. I love you all dearly. This perhaps is my last message to you all. Choose the people in your life wisely and love them fiercely. Life is too short for anything less. Go forth, Grinnellians. Thank you.
President Harris, it is my pleasure to present those persons of high accomplishments and distinctions to whom the faculty and trustee of this college wish to accord honorary degrees. I have the honor to present Ham Serunjogi for the honorary degree of Doctor of Social Science.
Plenty of Grinnellians go on road trips and dream big about their lives, but Ham Serunjogi and classmate Majid Mujaled are the only ones whose road trip musings led to a $2 billion company that is changing African finance. Serunjogi arrived at Grinnell from Uganda, where he was already a proven leader. He had participated in the 2010 Youth Olympic Games and was student council president at his school. He strengthened those skills at Grinnell by earning a degree in economics, serving as treasurer of the Student Government Association, and doing an internship with Facebook, now known as Meta. But it was on the road trip with Mujaled that those ambitions took shape as the pair mapped out an idea that would become Chipper Cash. As they imagined it, the app would make transferring money across the different countries and currencies in Africa seamless. Serunjogi and Mujaled submitted their idea to the Stellar Build Challenge in 2017. They landed the top prize of $100,000 and later hundreds of millions in investment dollars. Chipper Cash went live in 2018 with an aim to become Africa's modern mobile payments platform. More than 5 million users and billions in transactions later, Chipper Cash is well on the way to its goal. Along the way, Serunjogi has been recognized for his incisive ideas and leadership. He was named to Forbes' 2023 30 Under 30 list and is a member of the Investment Committee for Grinnell's Board of Trustees. For his unique entrepreneurial vision that is transforming finance in Africa, we are pleased to recognize Ham Serunjogi, class of 2016.
Ham Serunjogi, on recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Social Studies, honoris causa.
President Harris, I have the honor to present Peggy Bartlett, the honorary degree of Doctor of Science.
Emory University was an early and ambitious leader in campus sustainability. Much of that reputation was nurtured and strengthened by Peggy Bartlett. Bartlett landed at Emory in 1976 after earning degrees in anthropology from Grinnell and Columbia University. Her research interests included agricultural systems and sustainable development. In 1999, she took a year-long sabbatical to focus on campus environmental concerns. It turned out to be a catalyst for some of the most powerful work that she did over the next 2 decades. Bartlett began to lead meetings to mobilize the growing interest in sustainability issues on campus. In 2000, she helped launch programming to infuse sustainability and environmental issues across the curriculum. 4 years later, she and a co-editor published Sustainability on Campus, a practical guide for other institutions to follow in Emory's footsteps. She also developed the sustainability vision for Emory with clear goals to slash waste and energy use, which was adopted as a core principle of the university's strategic plan. Hundreds of faculty, staff, students, and alumni helped make those goals a reality. Bartlett didn't let up. She co-chaired numerous university committees linked to sustainable efforts with special attention to sustainable food procurement. In 2013, she co-edited Sustainability in Higher Education, which documents transformational strategies across the country. She has received numerous awards for her work, including the university's Thomas Jefferson Award and Emory's Sustainability Lifetime Achievement Award. She also became the first ever faculty member recognized by the Association for the Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. For her unwavering commitment to creating a greener university and for the path that she has created for other institutions to follow, we are proud to honor Peggy Bartlett, class of 1969.
On the recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I hereby admit Peggy F. Bartlett, 69, to the degree Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
I am deeply grateful for this honor, and especially so from this wonderful school that I respect so much. It's easy to be discouraged at this moment of deep political division, but I take hope for the future from the collaboration of hundreds of people at Emory University that allowed us to move forward boldly. It all began with a sustainability workshop that I heard about, and I took a team of student, faculty, and facilities leaders. I was told, oh, we can't do a green building, it costs too much. But we were thinking about upfront costs, not life cycle costs. And when we really did the proper calculation, we realized we couldn't afford not to build a green building, and the Board of Trustees agreed. Today, Emory has 40 renovated or new green buildings. I discovered in preparing these remarks that 40 is the magic number right now because we have diverted 40% of our food purchases to either sustainably grown food or locally grown food. And we've reduced our greenhouse gas emissions by 40%. And we now reclaim 40% of the wastewater and turn it into drinkable water in 3 days and save money in the process. We have almost 240 faculty who have come together to think about how do we teach sustainability challenges and solutions differently. And we've made commitments for our campus forests, and the campus has embraced a goal of diverting 95% of our solid waste to either recycling or composting. In my own academic building, where we have labs and offices and classrooms, we found it really quite easy, surprisingly so. And in 3 months, we had learned, 3 months from when they took away our trash cans, we found that we could use the recycling and compost, and we almost entirely eliminated our waste stream. I'm sure you have also learned new habits in your time at Grinnell, because Grinnell has also taken bold leadership on these issues. And we joined together to think about how do we live a good life without degrading the Earth's natural systems. In the late 1990s, I came to a turning point in my career, and I knew what was expected of me. But an inner voice protested, that's not enough. It's not enough. And I found a new direction and a new role in the university and began to work for culture change towards sustainability. And I imagine that many of you will also face such transition moments. And I hope that you will listen. As we struggle to imagine a different, more equitable, thriving future, whether in this country or in other countries, we must have the courage to build the bridge as we walk it. We can't always see the way forward clearly, but we can see good next steps, and we can see people to join us on that journey. I hope you will step forward and listen to your inner voice, and to do that, I invite each of you to find a practice that works for you, to get quiet enough to hear that voice. Maybe it's through meditation, or yoga, through prayer, or hiking, or journaling, or stillness, whatever works for you, to set aside the noise of social media and the tyranny of the to-do list. For me, the partnerships and inspirations of my work for sustainability have been the most satisfying aspects of my professional life, and I hope that you too will find that kind of satisfaction, collaboration, and joy.
President Harris, I have the honor to present William Love for the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
Journalism and technology teacher William Love spent years in the newsroom before he arrived at Sandpoint High School. He deeply understands the exact tools and techniques that students need to master if they want to succeed in the field. But to Love, the most important lessons he can instill in his students have less to do with writing story leads or capturing the perfect image than they do with taking chances, learning from failure, and pursuing excellence with patience. Students enrolled in his courses often not because they have a particular affinity for journalism and media, but because they are drawn to the care he shows to every student. He encourages students to open themselves up to new ideas and skills. Many, in turn, discover passions in graphic design, in advertising, sales, or writing that they never would have predicted for themselves. He praises students not simply for excellent work, but for the growth and improvement they show over time. And while he knows that many of his students will not pursue careers in media after they leave his class, he hopes that they take with them an appreciation for the level of care that goes into the news they consume every day. He also hopes that they can integrate the skills they've learned in illustration, marketing, or design into whatever they pursue next. For supporting his students at every level and giving them the mindset they need to excel and grow in whatever they pursue, we are pleased to honor Will Love.
William Love, on the recommendation of the faculty of this college and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
Good morning. Good morning. Distinguished faculty and staff of Grinnell, class of 2023, and your guests. I've traveled more than 1,500 miles to confess something to you. Several years ago, I came to terms with my averageness. See, I'm a public school teacher. I learned in the first class on my first day that a classroom is a humbling place. The confidence and expertise I thought I had entering the room was quickly extinguished when a student raised their hand at the end of the period and asked, "Is this like the first time ever you've been in a classroom?" Kind of deflating, I know. You are celebrating something extraordinary, a brilliant milestone that makes all of you anything but average. And now some teacher and basketball coach from Idaho, not even Iowa, is on stage telling you how average he is. I guess this is where I try to convince you the recognition of my averageness has had some benefits. It can't be all bad, right? I'm receiving an honorary degree from the best liberal arts college in America. I am a Grinnellian. Walking around and seeing all these names on the buildings, I look forward to all the future fame, glory, and riches that membership in this club bestows. But let's return to the topic at hand, my averageness. Acceptance actually has opened my mind and my heart to what's possible. It's enriched several areas of my life that are harder to quantify than with the analytics often associated with success. These days, I try to maximize, or is it optimize, my averageness as a teacher. It thrills me knowing I have room every day to improve as an educator, improve as a basketball coach, as a husband to my wife Debbie, a friend to the people I know, and a good person to others I come across. Success for me is found in the pursuit of authenticity and meaning in my role as a positive member of my community. Rewards appear in moments of true happiness when I manage to be the best person I can. After 14 years of teaching and coaching, I'm honored and appreciate that I can support others in discovering what's possible. I see myself as a facilitator, and that's allowed me to thrive in areas where maybe I am above average. Areas like establishing learning environments where the curious feel welcome and comfortable in exploring, or developing situations where students have a framework to create genuine content where they can learn something meaningful about themselves and others. I'm inspired by the authenticity I see in a group of teenagers' excitement and awe after publishing their own newspaper, or the celebration by a group of girls after winning a state championship they weren't supposed to, or simply the smile from a student when asked about their day as they enter the classroom. Meaning comes from events like today and watching Tara Rawlings, a quiet girl from Sandpoint, Idaho, with the biggest of hearts, graduate from Grinnell College. And it comes from the excitement Tara has for providing some Iowa elementary students the opportunity to identify and reach their own goals starting next fall. Thank you, Tara, for making me a better teacher. I'm so proud of who you have become and what you have accomplished. When I received an email in February about receiving an honorary degree, I admittedly thought, how did this scam make it out of my spam folder? And then I saw the list of honorees and their amazing accomplishments. Some panic set in. What meaningful words could I possibly convey in this situation? I realized all I can do is be myself, an average teacher from Idaho striving to find out what's possible. So here's my simple message to you graduates. Set out each day trying to be the best person you can be in your relationships with others so then you can discover what's possible. Congratulations, class of 2023. Be well, be kind, and continue to create excellence wherever you are.
President Harris, I have the honor, I'm going to say that one again. I have the honor to present Irma Pearl McLaren for the honorary degree of Doctor of Social Studies.
Irma McLaren believes one must change minds, change hearts, and change behavior to achieve transformation. For McLaren, this is not simply a catchy bumper sticker slogan. It's the way she has lived her entire life as a writer, as an academic entrepreneur, and an activist anthropologist. She has sought to inspire, to lead, and to build meaningful structures for institutional change. McLaren, who holds the MFA in English and PhD in anthropology, has been a particularly innovative leader in the academic world. Her accomplishments include founding the Urban Research and Outreach Engagement Center at the University of Minnesota, starting the Africana Women's Studies program at Bennett College, and serving as deputy provost at Fisk University. McLaren also has led and taught at the very highest level. She was named first permanent female president of Shaw University in 2010, was chief diversity officer at Teach for America, and Program Officer for Education and Scholarship at the Ford Foundation. She is also a Fulbright Specialist alumna. As a senior faculty member at the Federal Executive Institute, she taught leadership education to employees in the CIA, NASA, the Navy, as well as many other federal agencies. She continues to serve as a coach and consultant for organizations, high-level executives, and other top leaders globally. McLaren is a decorated writer and poet. In 2002, her book, Black Feminist Anthropology, was named an outstanding academic title. In 2015, she received a first-place award for her column in Insight News by the National Newspaper Publishers Association. For articulating a clearer vision for a better world, and for the many ways she has turned that vision into reality, we are pleased to recognize Irma McLaren, class of 1973.
Irma Pearl McLaren, 73, on recommendation of the faculty of this college, and with approval of the Board of Trustees, I admit you to the degree Doctor of Social Studies, honoris causa.
My sister friend, Dr. Keisha Scott, advised me to just take a moment and just look at you. Thank you, class of 2023, and Grinnell College, faculty, president, dean of faculty, who I knew when I was at the Ford Foundation, so our paths have come full circle. Family, I met some parents on the plane here last night, or the other night. You have made me feel appreciated and honored. These words come to mind at this moment. People will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Right now, I feel visible and heard. I want to leave you with a few words that I sincerely hope will make you feel inspired, hopeful, and perhaps a bit curious. So ponder this statement. All of us are born with purpose. Raise your hands if you believe that. Good. And if you don't believe it, raise your hand anyway. Come on, raise those hands, let's see it. Suspend judgment and give it a trial run. Hold on to that feeling of believing that you have purpose. A very few people are fortunate to have purpose revealed early in life. Most, however, stumble, falter, lose hope, and wonder over and over again. Why am I here? Why was I born? What is my purpose? To these latter souls who have not yet discovered their purpose, I say, stay the course. Remain steadfast and confident. All will become clear in time. But know this, discovering our purpose is not a passive act. It is not a matter of sitting and waiting to see if the purpose lightning will strike you. I believe we can only discover our purpose through our deeds, our actions, and especially the words we speak and write. We just have to learn to listen to our hearts and our souls. We just have to be certain that our actions and deeds are in sync with our hearts and souls. When these elements, heart, soul, deeds, actions, are not in alignment, we feel disjunctures, we feel disconnected. My purpose was revealed to me early in life. I began writing poetry at age 8 years old. I discovered early on the power of the pen and the magic of putting words out into the world. To be read and heard. It was this power of knowing that my purpose has allowed me to use my gift of writing to share knowledge, to give voice to those who feel unheard, and to write and speak words and thoughts that may make some uncomfortable. I am a poet, writer, provocateur. Because of my purpose, I have no choice. That is the nature of truth. When I write, it is to give myself and others the feeling that they have a champion on their side. Purpose has given me the courage and helped me to be resilient. It has helped me to navigate experiences, good and bad. Knowing I have purpose has aided me in weathering emotional and experiential storms. Having purpose has guided me throughout my life's journey, both personal and professional. I once heard someone say that, quote, the role of the poet is to speak the truth to the people, end quote. Thus, I've spent my life trying to be a responsible truth teller. I believe my purpose is to speak the truth to the people. Now, it may seem to some that poetry and anthropology are strange bedfellows. Yet I have found that writing poetry and studying anthropology, learning about what it means to be human and how cultures are created and sustained, are actually in symbiosis. They can indeed live together. And of late, I have turned my attention to the act of cultural preservation. I established the Black Feminist Archive in recognition that each of us carries an archive inside. Every person gathered here with us in cyberspace and in spirit, each of us carries an archive within. Our memories, our experiences, our storage banks, they are vast accumulations of knowledge, wisdom, relationships, all the things that make us human. I wish at this moment for each of you to begin to recognize that you have purpose. In exchange for the honor you have bestowed upon me, I leave you with these few words of wisdom. Take the time to discover yourself. Believe you have purpose, and guard and cherish the archive inside of you. If you agree with me, just stand up for a brief moment. Rise, come on, Grinnellians, rise if you have purpose. And thank you very much. I am deeply honored.
It is now my privilege as president to recognize members of the faculty who, after long and devoted tenure at the college, are entering upon emeritus status. I now recognize Celeste Miller, Associate Professor of Theater, Dance, and Performance Studies. Celeste Miller is known for her love and being loved of teaching and her singular approach to dance as a performing art, a cultural practice, a political act, and a method for the embodiment of ideas and beliefs. A faculty member since 2011, she is a scholar, dancer, and choreographer. Her distinctive performance style, which melds spoken word and movement, is acclaimed by critics and audience members alike. As an arts activist, she uses dance to help communities to creatively engage with issues, stories, and celebrations. Her work has been recognized through numerous grants, fellowships, awards, and commissions. For bringing her passion for dance to Grinnell and her artistic creativity to the stage, please join me in recognizing Celeste Miller. It is also my honor to recognize those faculty members moving to senior faculty status. Senior faculty status recognizes those members of the faculty who wish to be released from their regular full-time teaching obligations to pursue scholarly and professional activities associated with the college. Please join me in recognizing Professors Eugene Gaub and Johanna Meehan.
President Harris, family and friends, the Dean of the College will now present the candidates for the degree of Bachelors of Arts.
It's time. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree please rise? President Harris, on recommendation of the faculty of Grinnell College, I present to you these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Having fulfilled all the academic requirements, they are deemed more than worthy of entitlement to this degree. Congratulations.
As president of Grinnell College, I now recommend to the Board of Trustees, through you as one of its members, that each of these students be graduated to the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
President Harris, the charter of this institution states that the college's object shall be to promote the general interests of education and to qualify young people for the different professions and for the honorable discharge of the various duties of life. It is a pleasure for me to acknowledge that these students have not only completed a course of formal study at this institution, but have also come to know the demands and the rewards of a shared experience in learning. As such, they have indeed furthered the general interests of education and qualified themselves for the honorable discharge of the various duties of life. The Board of Trustees is therefore pleased to accept your recommendation and authorizes you, as president, to grant this degree.
By the authority vested in me by the trustees of Grinnell College, I now officially declare that having met, more than met, all the requirements, you are today granted the degree of Bachelor of Arts and are admitted to all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that it confers. Congratulations. And you may now be seated.
President Harris, alumni Rachel Edwards Harthwith and Luke Saunders will call the graduates. Will the graduates to the Bachelors of Arts degree please come to the platform as instructed by the marshals?
Sir B. Agarwal.
Ivan Yasser Ahmed.
Marty Scotch Allen.
Mackenzie Karen Allenson.
Annika Joy Alsleben.
Kofi Edem Matthias Amible.
Michael Andrew Angiewski.
Laura Minerva Armas Meza.
Connor Lynch Arneson.
Eleanor M. Arneson.
Kenny Raymond Atlas.
Miraya Vinay Kumar Bade.
Matthias Annan Bombi.
Harry Benjamin Barker Faust.
Brody Keith Barton.
Maya Battis Wyatt.
Kelsey Bierman.
Sonia Yosabet Benitez Torres.
Alec Forrest Berger.
Sophia Yvonne Bernabe.
Carmen Binder.
Hannah Newman Biles.
Ido Bilawar.
Luca Alban Blankenship.
Josephine Viola Blumenthal.
Carice Michelle Board.
Abishu Bramecha.
Court Joseph Brushears.
Benjamin Christian Brim.
November June Brown.
Sharina Ama Brown.
Isabel Grace Bruder.
Lucas Breeler.
Robert William Burchett.
Claire Ayun Burns.
Clayton Alexander Burton.
Nicole Ashley Kabe.
Jada Nicoa Caldwell.
Alexi Orion Canzaneri Vancher.
Avery Cardero.
Nicholas Robert Cardenas.
Olivia May Carr.
Connor Carson.
Madison McAfee Brooke Chandler.
Huan Dong Chung.
Ji Young Chong in absentia.
Sam Yufei Chung in absentia.
Jiayi Chen.
Nicole Chen.
Lucia S. Cheng.
Heiyin Cho.
Joel Juyol Choi.
Leonardo Choi in absentia.
Antara Chopra.
Mark Gabriel Sitzman in absentia.
Spencer Nathan Clark.
Elise Chausher Clayton in absentia.
Soren Hudson Clulo in absentia.
Sydney J. Cohen.
Adriana Lee Coman.
Elizabeth Eleanor Conley.
Kana Kondo Corley.
Jacob Pablo Spear Cowan.
Savannah Erin Crenshaw.
Harper Elise Crossan.
David Jonghong Dai.
Angding Dao.
The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present one of the Archibald Prize medalists for 2023, Grace Kathleen Davis.
Sophia Elaine de los Reyes.
Theodore Samuel Dietz Green.
Lucienne Akira de Jewel.
Noah Handworker Delgado de Torres.
Jerusalem Abraham Desta.
Shubika Devrani.
Elia Claire Dewey.
Ileana Antonella Diaz Rodriguez.
Christopher Burton Dickinson.
Leticia Dovale Amara Montero.
William M. Donaldson.
John Keegan Donovan.
Sonia Sabi Edisari.
William C. Edelson.
Eric Sano Ellenbach.
Ryan Maxwell Ehrlich.
Noah Michael Enerson.
Pierce D. Fairbanks.
Claire Luzmari Fabella.
Gavin Beauchamp Felker.
Chase Scott Ferguson.
Noel Fernandez Reyes.
Joan Marie Fieser.
Colin Robert Fink.
Andrea Nicole Fox.
Athena Rose Strecker Frasca.
Trinisa Fung.
David Lawrence Gales.
Matthew S. Gao.
Romeo Garcia.
Maya Gardner.
Shugnik Ghosh.
George Giannakoulis.
Lillian Grace Gibson.
Maeve Doyle Gifford.
Aidan Noel Gilbert.
David Eldon Gilbert, in absentia.
Jack Patrick Gillespie.
Maren Gingrich.
Nathaniel James Gerard.
Evelyn Fukawa Gonzalez.
Zoe Elise Gonzalez.
Alana Gonzalez Rodriguez, in absentia.
Katie Jo Goodall.
Pratik K. Gowda, in absentia.
Mallory Quinn Graham.
The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present one of the Archibald Prize medalists for 2023, Lucy Carol Green.
Thomas Lathan Grindle.
Alina Jothika Guha, in absentia.
Kate Ellen Mock Guiney.
Muchi Guo.
Isaiah Emil Gutman.
Noah Andrew Guyton.
Nicole Hankey.
Lilith Orion Hafner.
Podrick William Haley.
Harry James Hamilton.
Chaoyoung Han.
Paul Victor Hansen.
William Carl Satram Honstedt.
Victoria Marie Harrison.
Emma Violet Hasty.
Madeline Claire Healy.
Zion Arden Hefty.
Samuel Patrick Heller.
Ella Maybell Henniger.
Liliana Zenaida Herrera.
Keir McLaren Hitchens.
Hiroaki Hiratsuka.
Catherine Rose Hirschbeck.
Alexander William Heiser.
Winvi Ton Huang.
Chase Alexander Holdener.
Yunjing Hong.
Avery Pierce Hootstein.
Saul Chen Tu Song.
Cynthia Hu.
David Jared Hudson.
Muhammad Hamza Bashir Alahi.
Handamir Imam Nazarov.
The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present one of the Archibald Prize medalists for 2023, Sukuro Ishizaki.
Nishank Jajodia.
Huijin Zhang.
Maya Jo Jansen.
Mary Frances Jarmus.
Lucinda Claire Jensen.
Jiyun Jiang.
Benjamin Elliott Johnson.
Ian Searle Johnson.
Jacob Allen Johnson.
Melina Rose Johnson.
Noah Rohr Joseph.
Shayna Esther Josephson, in absentia.
Hansok Jung, in absentia.
Eugene Kang.
Amna Kapoor.
Wheaton Henry Scheidler Carney.
Saula Keloskaita.
Simon Avery Kennel.
Harrison Michael Edward Kessel.
Martin Jr. Nuvaga Kecha.
Adam Amin Cater.
Elizabeth Jane Killy.
Kevin Kim.
Yoonji Kim.
Carolina Klauk Novice.
Luke Walter Klein Collins.
Eugene Ko.
Kyle Amos Kobayashi.
Alexandra Kochaitkova.
Zoe Willow Kohler Brennicky.
Anne Catherine Kolodzik.
Bao Yi Kong.
Quinn Jacob Kopelman.
Sav Kopf.
Heidi Ann Corondo.
George Alexander Kosinski.
J. Jeanette Kratz.
Nicole Teresa Kreutzian.
Matthew Leland Lamberty.
Simon Connor Lane.
Nadezhda Jaboski Langley.
Dylan Thomas Lorianti.
Elias William Riggs Lawler.
Megan LeBlanc.
Anna Lee.
Eunice Lee.
Jamie Nicole Lee.
Mingy Lee.
Nathan James L'Esperance.
L. Lewis Eam.
Hong Lee in absentia.
Lou Elena Lee.
Claire Sophia Little.
Eugen Lin.
Anna Patricia Lapari.
Sneha Lohani.
Jennifer Lopez.
Alexander George Love.
Yicheng Charles Liu.
Isabel Judith Brower Madorsky.
Frank Charles Madsen.
Matis Maximitis.
Isabella K. Maloney.
Sergio Alejandro Martolo Estevez in absentia.
Annabella Tianlong Matthews.
Kaya Matsura.
Austin Dean Maslish.
Bailey Ann McElligott.
Jerry Tate McLean.
Celia Rose Donardo Maher.
Ishai Melamed.
Juan Isidro Mendicibal Silva.
Valentina Mercado.
Shlok Maresh.
Amber Caroline Merrill.
Eliza R. Meyer.
Caitlin Ann Michaels.
Jacob Garrett Micheletti.
Emma Rose Malarb Mills.
Fatza Ming.
Devin Montgomery Mitchell.
Tae Hyung Moon.
Christopher James Mopel.
Ricardo Pusiam Mori.
Samantha Grace Morrison.
Alexandra Renee Moldener.
Namira Muhammad Daud.
Rihanna Cassidy Mulligan.
Christopher John Murphy.
Katarina Carlson Murray.
Aditya Nair.
Isa Nation in absentia.
Misaki Nawa.
Emma K. Nelson.
Eric Daniel Nelson.
Claire Godfrey Newman.
Andrew Jacob Nickerson.
Paula Nishiyama.
Josie Renee Noland.
Nazma Begum Noray.
Sunny Blue North.
Emerson Lee Nyquist.
Emmanuel Akinwunme Ogundipe.
Sarah Mayumi Owide.
Haruko Okada.
Moral J. Old.
Alexis Salvador Olmos Cortez.
Adrian S. Olson.
Oninyechi Tovia Anwebu.
Dean Trent Oppenheim.
Ganlin O. Young.
Mia Joy Overvord.
Ritam Pal.
Jillian Christine Palladino.
Chloe Young Park.
Song Hyun Park.
Nicholas Arthur Parker.
Lucia Francesca Pasquariello.
Jacob Thomas Patterson.
Camilla Wilkins Peck.
Anna Perdue.
Amisha Pershad.
Sava Pettengill.
Adam Richard Phillips.
Daniel Conrad Pocklington.
Lila Rose Pudganey.
Ethan Podolsky.
Lucy Catherine Poliak.
Luke Matthew Porter.
Mary Therese Powers.
Manan Vivek Prathan in absentia.
Jeev Prayaga.
Atera Angelique Prince.
Teddy M. Praneas.
Davis Anthony Provost.
Boya Chi.
Visali Raja Ram.
Amanda Ramirez.
Tara Rianne Rawlings.
Samantha Diana Reed.
Ki Coco Ren.
Cosette Annalie Rhodes.
Ariel Jolie Richards.
Avery Lynn Richardson.
Jasmine Richardson.
Tobias Evan Rivas.
William Roberts.
Zoe Elena Robinson.
Michaela Francis Rodell.
Jenny Rodriguez Santos.
Javier Miguel Ramel Ruiz.
Kaylee Michelle Runquist.
Lucas Cloutier Roscoe.
Daniel Rosenblum.
David Mark Rotfuss.
Cassandra Natalie Rudig.
Annalise Gazina Rummelhart.
Sky Ryan, in absentia.
Shoria Sabu.
Ryusei Sakaya, in absentia.
Christian Douglas Salis Garcia.
Dolce Jerice Sanders.
Sotia Ebony Sanders.
Tomoyoshi Sato.
Eric Martin Sauer.
Emma Kieran Schaefer.
The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present one of the Archibald Prize medalists for 2023, Sarah Ann Schillinger.
Greta Emily Schmidt.
Evan Christian Schulteis.
Lexi A. Schuster Brown.
Eric Jordan Schwartz.
Madeline Cynthia Sevier.
Hitarth Rajesh Shah.
Chelsea Yu Shang.
Julia Louise Sheehan Clank.
Madeline Margaret Chenal.
Moraine Shore.
Aisha Amaya Simmons.
Divyansh Kumar Singh.
Gianna Singh.
Nasiba Derin Sivriolu.
Landon Curtis Skinner, in absentia.
Abigail Muir Smith.
Emily Ann Smith.
Harper Milo Smith.
Sophie Rochana Smith.
Leah Kendall Sohn.
Juntao Olivia Song, in absentia.
Ryu Sonoda.
Annalise Christina Stadelman, in absentia.
Sam Cody Jonas Stein de Turk.
Gabriel Sandstrom Steffen.
Benjamin Price Stern.
Alyssa Cynthia Laura Suarez.
Alexander Shuda Suwon.
Yin Suo.
Haruna Suzuki.
William Daniel Zimring Sweek.
Anna Maria Schlembarska.
Machiko Takanashi.
Sabrina Weichun Tang.
Benjamin Zachary Taylor.
Tinotienda Maxine Tajichka.
The President's Medal is awarded annually at each commencement to the senior who exemplifies the ideals of Grinnell College. Superior scholarship, demonstrated leadership that credits both the student and the college, compassionate and sensitive behavior, and individual responsibility are among the qualities that must be demonstrated. It is my pleasure to present the President's Medalist for 2023, Loyal Desi Orlando Terry.
Andrew Cooper Thompson.
William Isaac Thronson.
Mose Boren Thurmgreen.
Julia Diane Talapa.
Sarah Toy.
John Everett Tobin.
Aubrey Madison Torhorst.
Sarah Elizabeth Torrance.
Jeremy Mack Trachtenberg.
Jeremy Allen Traw.
Ella Nershen Yunal.
The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present one of the Archibald Prize medalists for 2023, Mary Jane Uzey.
Jivya Vedya.
Enrique Salong Valero Yang.
Isabella Shu Vergara.
Brady Allen Vest.
Christopher Dillon Victoria.
Sachi Avinash Wadwa.
Gavin J. Wagner.
Kyler C. Walcher.
The Andrew W. Archibald Prize for Highest Scholarship is awarded at each commencement to that student or students who have attained the best record of academic achievement over the 4-year period of collegiate work. Established in 1927, the award is named for its donor, the Reverend Andrew W. Archibald, who served as a distinguished member of the college's Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to present the final Archibald Prize medalist for 2023, Asher Jesse Walker Wilson.
Emma Christine Walsh.
Hubert Z. Wang.
Marilyn Leslie Webb.
Evan Robert Waitman.
Jade Lynn Whitney.
Sarah Wigg.
Bethany Chinedu Willig.
Rachel Caroline Wook.
Eamon Larimore Warden.
Eleanor M. Reet.
Ruiji Shah, in absentia.
J. Paul Yadav.
Shuto Yamamoto, in absentia.
David Palmer Yawada.
Aaron Benjamin Yost.
Austin Yu.
Tianyu Zhang.
Zetian Zhang in absentia.
Yuinlong Chung.
Maria Haotian Zhu.
Dorota Carolina Jabitska.
Clara Ziali da Igreja.
President Harris, these are the graduates of the class of 2023.
President Harris, the college at this time will recognize the members of the class of 2023 who have been accepted into or completed the 9th semester program leading to Iowa teaching certification. Would these students please stand as we call their names and remain standing until we have completed the list?
Mary Elizabeth Binsley.
Maria Ann Yuri.
Anne Catherine Kolodzik.
Tara Rianne Rawlings.
Jasmine Richardson.
Gavin J. Wagner.
Ileana Antonella Diaz Rodriguez.
Isaiah Emil Gutman.
Chelsea Yu Shang.
Christopher Dillon Victoria.
Eleanor M. Reet.
Julia Young Yu.
Please be seated.
Will the graduates to the degree of Bachelors of Arts please rise?
Dear graduates of the class of 2023, we have gathered here today in the esteemed company of our honorary degree recipients, of the faculty and staff of Grinnell College, and of your loved ones from all over the country and the globe to celebrate you, to cherish you, and to honor you. Please join me in thanking Ham Serunjogi, class of 16, for his message to us today, for his presence among us, and for his radiant light and vision. Please join me in thanking Dr. Peggy Bartlett, class of 69, Will Love, and Dr. Irma McLaren, 73, for their light and illuminations. And thank you to the Grinnell High School Band. I love you, Roman. And to all the parents, families, and loved ones who joined us through our live stream from Zimbabwe and Dubai, from Uzbekistan, India, Japan, Jamaica, and all over the world for this commencement. And the powerful words you've heard today and over the past 2 days, my fervent hope is that you have felt the deep respect and high regard in which all of us gathered here hold you, and how much we will continue to hold you and champion you and love you as you strive and persevere and press on in your brilliance, your work, and all that you believe in. It is now my honor to give the charge to the graduating class. After I do, and before our final benediction, there'll be a chance to throw your tam o' shanters, your hats in the air, to begin to express the exuberance of this great day, the exuberance of our joy for and with you. And so this charge, just a few more moments before you go out into the world with your light, a few more moments for us to hold you in this light before you join the light and legacy of Grinnell alumni and all that they strive for and make possible in a fraught and wondrous world. So I present my charge to you through 3 enduring ideas of human striving. First, knowledge is both rational and revelatory. So this idea takes us back to a 7th century Byzantine theological debate as to how knowledge was gained, how it came into being. Was it to be gained through the rationality of language or through the revelation of illumination? The argument that knowledge came through revelation rather than rationality, through illumination rather than study, was articulated by the late 5th century theologian Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite. Not only is his name fun to say, but Pseudo-Dionysius the Areopagite can speak to us today because his ideas give voice to the experience of knowledge through a flash of realization, a quickening, an immediacy and certitude that defy logic, the joy of life's intellectual passions. I invite you to think on your moments of realization these past 4 years and to trust yourself when those moments come in years to come. These moments give us a way to understand and admire how you came to know a tilting, transformed world and how you navigated and created and shared knowledge through both revelation and rationality. How you held fast to what was being revealed in that world and how you used that knowledge to indelibly reshape Grinnell and will use that knowledge to now inevitably reshape your worlds. You are a revelatory class. Second, change takes place across thresholds. A voice that was often quoted in our community during the pandemic was that of Indian author and political activist Arundhati Roy, who published an essay entitled "The Pandemic is a Portal" in April of 2020. Quote, "Whatever it is, coronavirus has made the mighty kneel and brought the world to a halt like nothing else could. Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. This one is no different. It is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next," end quote. That portal turns out to have a long threshold, one that you have been walking throughout the pandemic in the liminality betwixt and between worlds. It will be my enduring honor that we, dear class of 2023, came to Grinnell at the same time in the fall of 2019, and that we have walked that long threshold together. Not with the same steps, not in the same ways, for several months not in the same time zones, but gathered around the principles and experiences and changes of Grinnell. You have known and walked and co-created Grinnell across the gateways of multiple worlds. Now, for the third idea, I had to make up a word. Words don't suffice so far. Words such as leadership and partnership, as real and plentiful as both of those were during your time here, are not able to speak fully to how I and others have witnessed and been changed by your responses to the ceaselessly complex circumstances of your college years. So instead, I propose to celebrate your actionship, your ability to meet and mobilize, your capacity to gather and galvanize, your resolve to move ideas into action. In the etymology of English words, the ship of leadership, partnership, friendship, hardship, and now actionship signals the quality, power, skill, state, or condition of being of a leader, a partner, a friend, a hard thing, or an action. You have lifted up the quality, power, skill, state, and condition of being of action, in your reaching out to each other, in your building of coalitions, in your creativity and courage, in events both intensely local and ever expansively regional, national, and global. You gathered and protested not only for impact and the crucial role that protest plays in a democratic society, but also to gather and map out courses of action and change. You sat down with campus and community partners, and through deliberation and problem solving, saw and enacted better ways for this college and the multiracial and multi-ethnic society that it strives to further and nurture, to commit to human thriving and joy in a sustainable world. You are a testament to the power of action. Dear graduates of the class of 2023, as you have all shaped Grinnell College, so too will you shape the communities and societies of which you will be both constituents and caretakers. As you do, may you revel in knowledge, may you walk thresholds of change, and may you call forth the power of actionship. You have achieved great things in your time here. You will accomplish many more. And it truly gives me hope for the world to be able to say to you, the class of 2023, go forth, Grinnellians. Congratulations!
As we go forth from this ceremony, we congratulate these alums and their families on this impressive accomplishment. Grant each one of them the strength they need to take the next steps, the guidance of trusted mentors, the support of loved ones, the humility to ask for help when needed, and measured audacity and bold action when necessary to move forward in their work for justice. May each of you, today's graduates, have the privilege to do what you love and what the world needs for you to do. May the perseverance you have shown here and elsewhere throughout your 4 years of study continue to serve you throughout your life. As you leave Grinnell, I pray you fondly remember your years here and return often to this campus home. May each person traveling on this day have a safe journey as you go, and may peace be upon us all on this day and always. Amen.